Hello again, Madeline, I Teach Tech channel. Today we're going to go over or continue that A Day in the Life series, and specifically we'll be going over customer support roles today. So this to me was made the most sense when I was transitioning careers from occupational therapy because you didn't have to have a ton of like role specific knowledge. So with marketing, you have to have some marketing experience. With analyst roles, you have to have some analyst experience. With customer support, it's one of those neat opportunities where you can get experience from a lot of different paths in life. And so for me, it made a lot of sense to reach out to ed tech companies, educational technology companies, or healthcare technology companies, because my experience as an OT working in healthcare could give me that background knowledge, that specific industry knowledge for a role that would put me, or that would compensate for not having that direct customer support experience. So that is originally where I started my career once I switched. And so I worked in customer support solely for about 6 months. And then with the company, I started bridging into social and then affiliate marketing and other different forms of marketing. But I still maintained some roles and responsibilities within CS. So I would say I probably like worked in CS for like a year and a half before I was completely 100% then working in marketing. One thing. It is time for a second coffee. Okay, so specifically for CS, what a day could look like. So you're gonna have like your main ticketing system. A ticket is what they call when someone writes in. So say you're on a website and that little chat widget pops up. And they're like, hey, do you need help today? And you write back. Okay, that when the customer writes back, that is called a ticket. A ticket's created. And then that's what you work off of in CS. So imagine that question comes in, you're on the system. Like we use Intercom. And so there's a bunch of different versions of Intercom out there. It's basically where all those questions from all the different forms or possible ways that customers could reach out to you, they all come to one centralized place. And for us, that was Intercom. So you have the little ding, oop, a customer has a question, and then you write back and you help them. That's like the most simplest way to put like um, the most typical thing you do in customer support. And granted, this is going to change for a bunch of different companies, but this is just my experience. And so for customer support, on one hand, it sounds pretty like simple, straightforward. On the other hand, you have to really know the product, ins and outs, every nuance, everything that's up to date. You have to be really keen onto that knowledge because customers could get, say, a promo code to their email, but maybe you don't know that they're running a promotion right now. So you have to like be really aware of everything with the whole company's doing. Are features being released? Is marketing launching promos? Like all that stuff is really important to be able to take care of a customer in the best way possible. Another thing is to notice that we dealt with a lot more like bugs. So say someone wrote it and was like, hey, I'm having trouble accessing this, or this isn't working right. Then you have to know the steps to go through to like notify the tech team or to create a ticket on your end to notify everyone that there's an issue. So there's a lot of different possibilities of like working CS to work with other departments as well, which is kind of cool because then you can really find your niche and see like, do you maybe want to work more in marketing? Do you maybe want to work more with operations? Or maybe get into coding, who knows? So that's really a huge plus of working in CS. I would say one of the cons is that it's like very time, at least in my opinion, time sensitive work. Whereas like where I work in now in marketing, it's not time sensitive. Like I have projects and deadlines that I need to plan for, but very rarely is it like, okay, this needs to be handled right this second. But with yes, you have an angry customer, then you do need to handle that promptly. And most of those ticket systems like Intercom can keep track of how quickly you're responding to customers. They rate you afterwards, typically of like on a scale of 1 to 10, or how happy are you, like with the sad face to the happy face. So there are a lot of those metrics that they can use for CS roles to specifically gauge how your performance is. Although, in my opinion, it's really subjective because, um, an average person can give you like a face instead of like a crazy happy face, and that could just be them for that day and how they're feeling. Um, but overall, I think I'm kind of rambling now, but it's a really great place to start and to get knowledge of working in a tech company and to also become familiar with all of the different departments, figure out what you're interested in, and really get your feet wet into switching careers. For pay, mostly it can range, but I would say that most CS roles, if you have no experience, start out between 35, 40, 45,000. But once you get experience and have, maybe you want to move into CS manager role or whatnot, you could make 60, 70, 80, $90,000 or more. It's really varies, but definitely an easy job to do remote because it's all online. It's all on the ticketing system. Another con I just remembered is this doesn't apply to all roles, but CS typically works on weekends too. So you probably have some like weekend shifts, or like maybe you have Monday off because then you're covering Saturday. I'd say like the typical 8 to 5 doesn't really apply to customer support, but it could be something you want to do long term, and that's great. Or it could be something that you want to do short term to just get some experience, make some connections, and grow your career. Let me know if you have any questions.